Hi, welcome to Save Point, a show about video games and topics that you send to us on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and YouTube using hashtag SavePoint. I'm Michael Anthony Torres.
Oh,
really?
I'm Nick Rubio.
God damn it.
I'm Hunter Taylor. I'm Hunter.
So let's get into our first topic right here. And our first topic is from Jason O'Malley, superfan with the ridiculous Twitter handle, too many numbers, love you to death. At UnderInspired, what are your thoughts on Microsoft buying the Gears of War franchise? What are your expectations for the IP moving forward?
Are you only asking this because your YouTube picture is the Gears of War cog symbol?
Is it? Hold on.
Yeah, no, it's not his Twitter picture, it's his YouTube picture.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes it is.
I don't know, I'm excited. I think Microsoft proved that they can take ownership of a franchise with Halo and just beat it over the head with as much money as they can and then make a good game.
As long as it's fun. That's all I care about. As long as because the Gears of War games, to be honest, they didn't have, I mean, their story went as far as Dominic's wife dying.
Exactly.
That was as far as it went. Like,
exactly. Those games are just great controls and literally just having fun shooting.
No depth.
Wasn't like Judgment Day like the one that wasn't so great?
No, I
thought that wasn't bad. I heard it was like the worst out of the.
No, it's not.
I heard 3 wasn't that great.
No, 3's good. They all get, I genuinely think they all get better. The only time you hear they get worse is from the hardcore players who are just like, I can't wall bounce now, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. Which basically that's them saying it's getting more fair.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
The game isn't broken. Well, I remember when wall bouncing wasn't a thing, and then all of a sudden like a big patch hit, and then like wall bouncing became a huge thing. That's all people did. Ruin the fucking game.
Yeah.
Ruin the goddamn multiplayer.
You can't play Gears of War 1 with a Lancer or with a Hammerburst. You have to take out your shotgun immediately.
And you have to wall bounce.
And you have to wall bounce, or you have to have a power weapon. You gotta have a boom shot, you gotta have a sniper rifle, you gotta have a torque bow.
Oh man, I love the torque bow. I fucking got blind shots like no other man.
I stopped playing Gears after Gears of War 2.
Gears of War 3 is incredible, and Judgment's actually probably my favorite. I think Judgment is the most straightforward. Judgment has the most fun campaign. It does with the you declassify and you make the missions harder. They're really fun. They're really straightforward, and
they always had great campaigns like with multiplayer. Yeah. Like those were like my favorite campaign multiplayer.
That's the best campaign co-op. Like legitimately. I don't know, I like it. I think for Black Tusk, the company that now has ownership of the franchise, I want to know what their game was, because you remember at E3 they showed a trailer for what their game was. It was a guy rappelling down a building in Shanghai. That looked interesting. I don't know if that's been shelved and they're now just working on Gears, or they're gonna finish that up and go to Gears.
I hope they do new characters. Like I don't like. Yeah. I feel like the story's done. You know, like I feel like they need to move on. I'll be kind of disappointed if it's not something new or not something like new characters to be like immersed into.
I think anyone who played Gears of War 3 knows that ending is pretty final, and that there will not be anything set after that. If they do, wow, they're the best writers ever. Yeah. If they can make that work, they're really good, but they don't have that track record for deep writing. Yeah. But just somebody else, just a different group of people, just in a different place, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, ultimately, like we said, the story's not the big draw. The story is just the setup as to why I'm using really good guns, why I'm having a lot of fun, why I'm
and the multiplayer. Like, I really would like to see Gears be back in the MLG scene, because that was a big thing. The Gears 1, it kind of dropped off after Gears 1. Yeah, it did. But like, that was like great. I loved it. I think it was the multiplayer. Like, if they brought it back and they brought it like
to that quality, that level of polish and competitive fairness.
Wasn't it like at its peak when like towards the end of the Halo 3 phase kinda, and then it started dropping?
Yeah,
it all Halo.
It fucking dropped for a while. Yeah. Like Halo 3 brought Halo back into the MLG scene.
Yeah, because
Halo 2, like, I mean, that was as far as Halo got with MLG for a while.
Yeah, I went to an MLG like tournament like 3 years ago, I think, or 4 years ago. It was around there, and literally like there was not that many people at the Gears of War.
No,
like not at all. Everybody was just Halo.
Halo and Call of Duty. That's it. You know,
unfortunately.
I mean, I hope that answers your question. You know, I mean, I'm excited for Gears. I like Gears. You know, Gears is one of those games, and the thing about Gears is it doesn't come out every year. It's one of those I get the time to burn out and be done with Gears and then be excited like, oh my goodness, another Gears.
As long as it's fun.
As long as it's fun.
That's all
I
care
think
about.
My favorite thing about Gears of War was the level. Like the level designs were like amazing. Like I
Yes.
loved Hail. That level was kind of
where it like rained and like if
Yeah.
you ran out of the rain it killed you.
Yes.
The multiplayer level.
And
Yeah.
all it is what's the one that's in all of the Gears of War games?
This fuck.
It's just some roads. It's just some streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, I don't. You know, and I feel kind of bad because I feel like the levels won't be that great because you know who helped pretty much design all those levels was Cliffy B. And Cliffy B got big because he designed levels for Quake and for Unreal Tournament, and that's how he became the head designer for
Gears.
For Gears. So I feel like the levels won't be the same because they don't have him behind it. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for see what he brings out.
We'll see. I mean, every it's all up in the air, and right now, as long as it's good, you know. I hope that answers your question.
Jason O'Malley.
Hunter, want to get into this next one?
Yes. So this is Gamer X. Do you think one day there will be an engine good enough to create real living worlds?
Okay.
And that was on Twitter.
I would love to know what you mean by that because we had a discussion before. Do you mean this like in an existential kind of way, like it will it's going to be like Tron and the program is going to diverge and then all of a sudden there's just living, breathing things, or do you mean just like a really powerful engine that can make really good stuff?
I took away from that you're gonna look inside of your computer screen and you're just gonna be like, is this Google fucking Maps? Is that my house?
Mind blown.
Like you shoot through the window and your fucking cat explodes. It's like. You know?
Yeah, are you talking about something that creates existence or reality? I don't know.
The primordial pool.
When I first read it, I thought you meant like, oh, when are games gonna have like really good like living, breathing worlds like I guess you could say like immersive kind of worlds.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, and I was like, there are plenty of those games, and then you're like, wait, no, and I was.
Oh, I'm okay.
I don't know. It's kind of a conflicting question.
It depends on. I mean, like, okay, for me, there's already a lot of really powerful engines. The engine.
Crytek.
The Crytek engine, the Unreal engine, the Kojima Company's new Fox engine, Kojima Productions' the Fox engine is super powerful.
Frostbite 3.
Frostbite. What's the one that they're using in the Division? Snowdrop or something like that?
Yeah. Is it Snowdrop? I think it might be Snowdrop.
Something like that.
Yes, something like that. And that's the point.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the power. We have
the
incredible engines to do that. The thing, but when you talk about living worlds, when you talk about something like the detail that's in Grand Theft Auto 5, that's because somebody sat down and programmed every little one of those details.
For 5 years.
Exactly. I don't think that we don't have the power.
It would take a lifetime.
Exactly. I think it's just to ask somebody to code a game where the minutia of life is in it. That's just so much time. That's just so much effort, and ultimately, that's just a bunch of information that's on the disc that doesn't need to be like.
And nobody's gonna like. Very few people will appreciate it. Nobody, there's so much that already goes into games that and it sucks because I love watching interviews with developers, and they talk. They're like, man, we put all this time and effort when in starting scene when you're walking down this hallway, and there's just so many like details that are like people like I think it was for Bioshock Infinite when you're on the beach with Elizabeth when you you first get to the when you first find Elizabeth and you're like walking around with her.
Like Elizabeth actually goes to
she goes to each actual they were talking about how all this depth of the design that every time you brought Elizabeth near something, her AI would decide what to do, and she would do something different every time you played. But like most people don't appreciate that. They don't see that depth of programming, and they just like, well, I just want to get to the fucking end of the beach. What the fuck,
Exactly.
I want to kill Comstock.
It's as simple as that. I mean, I think we have the engines right now, or we're getting there. We're really close. I think Unreal 4 is ridiculously powerful. Mm-hmm. It really is, especially with the new Kismet. I don't want to get all technobabble on you, but suffice it to say, you can do a lot very fast. Mm-hmm. You can make a game very quickly in Unreal 4. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of whether or not someone wants to sit down and program every individual thing of life.
It's just unneeded, and it's a waste of space, just like you said. They could be making other things that would make more sense for the game.
Yes.
Yeah, the people, they make the stuff that people will appreciate when they appreciate, but then they can't forget the people who won't appreciate it, so they don't, the people who are just gonna, we have players, the majority of our players want to go from A to B, we gotta,
Yeah.
They have to get something out of this too.
And as for an engine that literally creates life, like it is a force that creates existence.
You're borderlining on AI.
Like 2 years.
Borderlining on AI.
Like it's gonna be like the movie Her. It's gonna be like the movie Her, and we're just all gonna be heartbroken. We're all gonna be Joaquin Phoenix with his weird mustache. I hope that answered your question.
You know, Google started a coalition for AI development.
No, that's too much. I don't want it. I don't want to fall in love.
Yeah, they said that they created this so that it's a board that every time like somebody makes an AI, they're like, this is too much.
This is too much.
We say,
tone it down.
Yeah, this is too much because the guy who started it, he said that AI is going to be the death of humanity.
Oh, I'm sure.
He already said it. He's like,
name one fiction where AIs don't destroy us.
Cyberdyne.
I can't.
Yo, I'd create the gap for a legion, for a single legion.
You cannot create.
I'd create.
You cannot. We have someone off camera who's trying to get me to say some stuff. Name one type of fiction where an AI is not a cause of some problem, whether it be the end of humanity or irreparable heartache.
Every zombie movie.
Cyberdyne.
That's what I'm saying.
Cyberdyne. That's the end of it.
Even in Halo. In Halo Reach, you find out that there's some shady ass AI who are actually like well aware of the Covenant before everybody else is.
Well, and the Covenant AI is shady too.
Yeah, and the Forerunner AI shady as fuck.
Yeah.
It is not. AIs are bad.
Minerva.
That's what I'm saying.
Minerva.
What is? She comes at third act out of nowhere, and all of a sudden she's a villain, and you're just like, oh okay,
yeah.
I guess I'm just gonna die here. No spoilers. We're not gonna say what game that's from. No spoilers.
Nope.
I hope that answered your question. Any day now, we're gonna have fantastical engines. All right, get it.
All right. Wait, did we? Oh, okay. This is Jason O'Malley again.
Oh, the twofer.
Okay. So at UnderInspired, what do you guys think of all this Watchdog news? It's bullshit.
Yeah. Ubisoft already came out and they said, look, we're not canceling the patent.
Yeah.
That was somebody else pretending to be us, trying to cancel our patent.
It was a fake. It was a hoax. Apparently, you can just call a patent company and just, I'm from Ubisoft,
and we want to cancel this patent.
Our major trademark.
Yeah, we just want to cancel this trademark. I don't think that game's canceled. Not this far into development.
They would never cancel.
There was talk about them cancel. There's talk of them canceling the Wii U version though.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna do that. I'm sure they'll do that because the Wii U, everybody's canceling everything for the Wii U.
How many sales did it get for pre-orders? Just from pre-orders.
There were tons of people who bought it and then they found out that they pushed back and they were fucking pissed.
Lots of people are excited for the game. They're not gonna push that off.
Yeah, they're not going to push that.
They're not going to cancel it. They're not just going to.
The only reason that game got pushed back is because they know so many people are going to get that game.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, we can't fuck this.
Exactly, and they can't afford to. They
can't
afford.
And they're thinking long game. They're thinking long game. They really are. They're really. They want this to be a series. They want this to be something that people will come back to. You know, like a grandstanding title.
Yeah, they want this to be an Assassin's Creed level game. People are like, oh, it's another Watch Dogs. I don't care what number it's got behind it. I'm gonna buy it.
They don't. Unfortunately, they don't have the. I want to say Assassin's Creed, the original Assassin's Creed. It was the sleeper.
Yeah,
that was the sleeper, and Watch Dogs doesn't have that.
No, Watch Dogs.
Assassin's Creed got huge. Watch Dogs is the little brother who's in the family of like doctors and shit.
Exactly. He has a lot to live up to, and everybody's expecting.
He's not the firstborn child. No.
Exactly. No, everyone's expecting that game to be big.
That game's gonna sell really well. They would never cancel that game.
Yeah, they're not gonna cancel that game. It wouldn't surprise me if like what you said, if they did cancel the Wii U version. That honestly wouldn't surprise me. A lot of people are canceling things for the Wii U. Yeah. I know they canceled all Arkham Origins DLC for the Wii
U. Did you read their article that a lot of companies are afraid of Nintendo going under because if Nintendo goes under, it's gonna bode well for the entire market because like Sony and shit, they're all all those companies are like, we don't make games for kids, So that with Nintendo going under, kids are gonna look for other things to play their games on, and we don't do that stuff, So now they're gonna have to divide their resources to make games for kids.
Here's the thing, this is what I want. In some weird topsy-turvy world where Nintendo actually does go under, in some weird world where that actually does happen, okay? I want Nintendo to be like, look, we can't make consoles, we just can't do it. We're gonna license out our properties. I want to be playing Zelda on my 360 and on my PS3.
Never happened.
Here's the thing, though.
Never happened.
Here's what I want. As a grown man, as a 20-year-old man, I am completely comfortable in saying, I want to play Pokemon on my Xbox 360. And I want a grandiose Pokemon. Think about, think about the one you used to play on your Game Boy, okay? The exact same mechanics. I want to go to gyms, I want to find wild Pokemon, I want to train them, capture them, I want to do all that, but I want to do that in HD with full 3D models on my big TV. That's what I want. I dream of that.
He will be buried with those licenses.
Yeah, that'll never. I know that'll never happen.
And they'll launch his corpse into space.
But in the dreams where I'm married to Jessica Chastain, I am actively playing that game.
They will.
She's not as good, but she's okay.
They will never become Sega.
No, they will never do that.
And even if they stop making consoles and they just focus on handhelds, where they do, to be honest, that's where Nintendo belongs in the handheld market.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Sony's the one who's fucking up. Mm-hmm. As good as the Vita is, they are not using it to its potential. Yeah, and that's because they don't know how to use it to its potential. Whereas the the DS, the 3D is just a gimmick, but the DS in general, powerful machine. The game,
plenty of games.
The developers behind it, are amazing. Mm-hmm. They create amazing games. I'm not a huge I love JRPGs, but I'm not crazy about them. But every time a new one comes out, it's always so different, always so awesome. Like Bravely Default, that game is. I can't wait. That's a couple days from now.
You're counting down the minutes.
Yeah. I got the demo on my 3DS. It's great.
There it is. I
think I was gonna say a lot of people who actually like JRPGs, they actually suggest the PS Vita because the PS Vita actually has a lot of JRPGs. And game-wise,
which explains why it's doing so bad in the West.
And game-wise, I heard a lot of the games, because people just look at the shelf, they're like, oh, it doesn't have that many games.
Yeah.
A lot of the games are actually on the console itself.
They're digitals.
You have to go to the PlayStation Store and stuff, and a lot of people don't realize that. And I think that's obviously another reason why PS Vita doesn't do as well as the 3DS.
People don't trust digital stuff. Unfortunately, they don't. We don't live in that society yet. Not yet.
So I don't know. I wouldn't say PS Vita is not doing anything wrong, and they're trying to make up for what they lacked with the Vita, when it first came out.
Monster Hunter. That's where they're fucking up. They need to bring Monster Hunter.
We're talking about Monster Hunter right now. Monster Hunter 4 is coming out next year.
Isn't it coming out? I know it's coming out for the DS, but it's not coming out for Vita.
They're thinking about bringing Monster Hunter G, which is like a MMO kind of Monster Hunter. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know Monster Hunter.
It's going to be like a really, really heavily online Monster Hunter. It's either G or they're thinking about bringing Monster Hunter Ultimate. I don't know. They're thinking about bringing some Monster Hunter game. You can get Monster Hunter games on the 3DS because it's a PSP classic, so you can download it. Mm-hmm. But I want the real Monster. I want the new one.
Yeah. I don't know how this was a question about Watch Dogs, and now we're talking about brand new Monster Hunters. So there's nothing to be worried about. That Watch Dogs is still coming out.
Yeah, still coming out. Let us know what you think about the engines. Realistic life.
What do you think about the engines? Yeah. And would you play my hypothetical Pokemon game? Because I think that game takes the world by storm, sells 100 million copies in the first 24 hours.
It's the same reason there's no MMO Pokemon game on the computer. It won't happen.
It can't happen. It just can't happen. There's not enough money on this planet for them to take from us if they were to make that.
Nope. There's too much money in Pokemon to begin with.
There's just too much.
It's that gold mine in the West that they're not letting go. It's in the family for generations.
Forever. So let us know. Are you excited for Watch Dogs? Do you have Watch Dogs pre-ordered? Is it on? Do you have your next gen system? Are you ready for it?
Or are you excited for the next Gears of War?
What do you think about the next Gears? Are we going to be playing the first person shooter Gears? Probably not, but let us know what you think.